me to leave Duncannon. I just stayed at the basement of the pastor's home here at the Assembly of God. They were very nice. Provided us with kitchen, shower, towels, all that good stuff. As you know from yesterday's video, I was dying when I was coming down that downhill. I honestly was just ready to pack it in and go home. And then when I walked into the Doyle, there's some other hikers I knew. And they're all like, moon pie's here. And of course that always feels good. So I joined them for a beer and a burger and felt a little bit better. And then there was actually a local named Lisa who we were trying to figure out where we met before. It turns out that we were at the same shelter in Vermont last year. So that was pretty cool. She was just starting the long trail and I had just gotten into Vermont. So that was a fun little reunion. And she was kind enough to take us all to the grocery store and the drugstore. So that helped. But I could not find the knee brace that I needed and a couple other things, so I didn't really score at the store. And unfortunately my next real town I think is going to be Portland, so I'm struggling a bit, slow getting out this morning and having trouble still putting weight on my knee. So I'm hoping as I hike it'll loosen up a bit. If not, I don't really know what I'm going to do, but I got the brace, I got some Aleve, probably not even enough to get me all the way to the next town. So anyway, I'm a little bit of a beat up baby right now, but hopefully it'll get better. Just walking through Duncannon on what's going to be, I think, about a 3-mile road walk around the bend, across the bridge before I can get up into the woods again. And you can just feel how muggy it is. It's only 8:15 and it's going to be sweltering today. Hopefully it'll be a little bit better in the woods, but it's just hot and muggy like it has been. I think the high is going to be something like 85 or 86, which may not sound like a lot if you live in Florida or Arizona, but I think up here it's pretty hot and sticky. Some of these twists and turns around the highway here are a little confusing. I guess you have to cross the river twice or cross 2 rivers or something like that to get over there. I successfully navigated the road maze to get here to the trailhead, crossed 3 railroad tracks, came across 2 rivers, past a parking lot, and now I'm going to head up those stairs and back into the woods, right where I belong. And there's the sign, the first shelter. It's a little bit hard to read, but it's 2.6 miles up the trail, and I'm hopefully going to the second, which is Peters Mountain, or possibly further if I'm feeling good. Thankfully the knee is finally starting to work a little bit the way knees should. There's still a little bit of pain when I step down on it, and these stairs right here will be a good test for me to see how it's doing. But yeah, at least I can walk with relative ease now versus when I first started. So it does seem to get a little bit better with use, and then it just gets worse later in the day when I'm real tired, or if I have to step down a lot, do a lot of up and down. So anyway, keep walking and see how it does. So far the climb up has not been bad at all, and I know it's hard to get the angle on video, but it is really steep heading down that way, and the road, I guess, is way down there. Almost a view. If the trees were down, you'd probably have a nice view of the river, but anyway, I'm feeling pretty good, better than I expected at this point, so that makes me very happy. And I'm going to trudge this way. I've been doing a bit of these like ledge type rocks at the top of the ridge, and I just stopped to let somebody pass. And I looked over and look at that view. Isn't that gorgeous? I'm doing a lot of this kind of rock scrambly stuff this morning. And I was thinking about yesterday's hike that was supposed to be, quote, very rocky according to AWOL. This is more my definition of very rocky. If it's just little rocks on the trail that you have to navigate, step through, it's rocky, but not very rocky. I know maybe I'm splitting hairs, but this to me is what you call very rocky. And I don't mind at all, but I'm going very slowly because of my knee, and I just don't want to do anything that's going to aggravate it. But thankfully it's holding me up as I'm climbing. So far I'm doing pretty well. How's this for fun? Goes down that way and across this way. And you might think that you're supposed to go straight, but it's see a blaze right there, which tells me the trail's probably going to go down. Just had a nice break with several other hikers at the Clark's Ferry shelter. There's a wonderful spring. And just went maybe half a mile and came out to this power line crossing. And look at that view. Good morning. Lost track of what day it is, but I just left the Peters Mountain shelter where I stayed last night. Did about 12 miles, I think. And man, I was wiped out. It was a tough day. And some of the hikers decided to go on another 6, almost 7 miles because the water trail down from Peters Mountain is a good 200 steps, stairs, literally rocky stairs, about 1/4 of a mile down. And then of course a 1/4 mile back up. So it's the most difficult water trail I've done on the AT, but I rested up a bit, went down, and then when I came back up and started cooking my dinner, I realized that I was missing my dinner bag. I keep all my food, and you know, one for breakfast, one for lunch, one for dinner, one for snacks, and dinner was gone. And it's not like me to lose things, but after talking to some other hikers, there was one who was at the hostel yesterday after I left, and he said he found it on the counter and put it in the hiker box. At least somebody's going to benefit from my dinners, but I was feeling pretty down that I didn't have my food. And there were some really sweet ladies section hiking, and they all chipped in and pitched in, gave me some tuna, some bars, things like that to get me through the next few days, because I'm not sure exactly when I will be in a town again. I'm slowing down my my schedule just a little bit because of my knee, and I'm walking like a cripple. It looks terrible, but hopefully it'll warm up again like it did yesterday. And yeah, just these rocks are no joke. So I'm just gonna do the best I can today. Hopefully I can get at least 13 miles in, but remains to be seen. Birds are happy today. I just love the forest in the morning. It's so peaceful. So quiet except for the sounds of nature. It's really nice to be out here just all alone. Time to think, time to reflect, time to hike. The section hiking ladies told us that the terrain going back down towards this parking lot is not that bad, but it is downhill, which I guess you can see, like that's straight ahead and it's heading down that way, which is really hard on my knee. So even though it is warming up a little bit, I've been hiking for about half an hour and it's doing a little bit better. I have a feeling I may be in tears before the time I get to 6 miles. All right, well, my smile's a little bigger than it was a few minutes ago when I checked in. Actually, that was probably half an hour ago. Anyway, I was cruising along, lost in my own thoughts, thankful that the trail hasn't been as down as I expected, and my knee, as I hoped, is feeling a little bit better as I hike. And just walking and thinking and thinking and walking, and I looked up and I see a hiker who stepped off to let me go by, and he looks at me and he says, "Hey, Joyful Rambler, I watch your videos." And we had a nice little chat, and that always kind of lifts my spirits. So Ron Manning, thanks for watching. I want to give you a shout out, and I hope you enjoy your hiking through Pennsylvania. I just got the obligatory morning rock scramble out of the way. There were some ledges type rocks back there, probably about 1/10 of a mile, where you're walking on slabs that are kind of turned up on their end, and then you can kind of step down here and the trail turns a little bit smoother once again. I'm sure those aren't my last rocks for the day, but it's a good little workout. Can you see that little bird on the rock up there? I don't know if you can. She blends in pretty well. I thought she was a chipmunk chirping away. There she goes, over on the log. And she was just scurrying around under the rocks and under the branches and stuff. And I thought for sure she was a chipmunk. And I was like, no, you're a little bird. I don't know what kind. I just crossed Clark's Mountain Road, and I would love to go to a town, but I can't. I have no cell service and there's no towns close by, so I am just sitting here by this beautiful little creek, resting my feet. I got some water. I've got another 7 miles at least to go today, so I think I'm gonna maybe just have a snack. My stomach's kind of off today, so I'm not ready for lunch, even though it's about noontime. I'm just gonna rest the tootsies and have a little snack and then be on my way. I just came up from that parking area where I soaked my feet in the stream. This is a Yellow Springs campsite where I was thinking of staying. It's 6.2, and the Rausch Gap shelter is 10.8. So I don't know, I'll have to see how my feet do, and I might just go on to the shelter, but I've said that before and I usually end up stopping, so I feel like I'm walking on just a mountain of rockfall this afternoon. For the past few miles it's been above and below. Just a huge mountain of rocks. I don't know any other way to describe it. But looking down at the trail, it's all crumbled. So you have big rocks up here, and big rocks down there, and crumbled rocks here. And I'm kind of wondering like how they got the trail in here. Did they get like dynamite? I don't know. Must have been a pretty challenging thing to dig out. I don't think they would move all of those rocks by hand for miles. So if anybody knows, drop me a comment and let me know. I'm very curious. Are you all by yourself? I'm not going to hurt you, but I do need to hike, okay? You okay? I'll see you later.